anyways, sticking with Mexican football, let's talk about this player survey that ESPN has carried out. ESPN conducted a survey with 22 players across 12 Liga MX clubs, and one of the hot topics was whether or not they should bring back promotion and relegation. Now, majority hurt, and whopping 81.8% were in favor of going back to the OG system pre-COVID of having promotion and relegation. What do you think?
I'm not surprised. Obviously, listen, I'm a fan of Pro Rel. I've played in Pro Rel. I've seen the beauty and I've seen the despair that Pro Rel can cause. My team was saved on the final match day. I know the intensities. I know the jubilee that comes with, staying afloat, that comes with, seeing teams get promoted, that comes with beating a team and seeing them get relegated. It's all this drama that we see in world football, and I'm here for it. I am here for it. I think the majority of players playing in Mexico have been in Mexico for quite some time, and they realize how much money is in Mexico. And when you don't have Pro Rel, what that means is the teams underneath have no incentive to win because they cannot get promoted. Yeah. So there is less money. When there's an incentive to get promoted or incentive to not get relegated, there's more money to go around. I've been there. I have been in games where it's like, you win this game, boom. It's a little chunk of change in your pocket immediately, an incentive. And these players know that. That's the way it is around the world. So obviously, it's an incentive to make more money. So I understand it's an incentive to have more jobs open because there will be more teams in that second tier. I understand that need if we're going beyond the sporting merits of football. So it doesn't surprise me at all. One of the biggest situations right now in Mexico is that Mexican players feel they're being squeezed out. There are less and less opportunities for Mexican players. So when you're squeezed out of first division, if the only place you can go is a division that no longer aspires to win, well, what do they care who's there? What do they care who wins or how much they make? So I understand the need for this from the player perspective.
All right, well, another hot topic that they talked about and another change that we saw because of COVID times was the fact that they were pairing the Liguilla with a play-in tournament. Now, majority, 63%, are not in favor of this format, Herc. What do you think? Are you in favor of it? Are you not? Who do you side with? And what do you think should happen?
So it's funny because if you look at who go into the play-in, what percentage go in out of the 18, I believe it's what? Producer Beto, is it 11 now, 12? If that's the case, that's over 63% right there. So listen, I understand the not liking it, right? It makes the regular season not matter or feel like it doesn't matter. Nobody wants to be in a situation where they're like, well, we could lose this game. And an 17-game schedule, 17-game schedule, not even 18, 17-game schedule, and say, we could afford to lose this one because we win 3 in a row, and not only are we in, but we're in good position and we're hot. So I understand these players saying like, listen, congested schedule, too many games, you want to do this, you're the ones making the money, we're not getting a chunk of this from the playoffs. I understand them being like, this isn't a great idea.
I understand them as well. When I was reading about it, blew my mind. That is not... You could be 12th and still get a shot at the title?
Oh, yeah.
Nah. No chance, no chance.
Out of 18.
Anyways, let's move on to some very spicy comments from our friend at ESPN, Jurgen Klinsmann. This time he's talking about Liga MX players, and he says, quote, perhaps they feel too comfortable in Mexico because they make a lot of money. They play in full stadiums, exciting stadiums. Maybe that's why they don't have enough motivation to try Europe. If you have an opportunity to go into Europe, then give it a try. If it doesn't work, no problem. Now, obviously, years after that, you look at the U.S. national team and pretty much everybody plays in Europe. A national team needs to be surrounded by players who always play at the highest level possible. Ooh, shots fired. Pew, pew, pew. What you make of what Jurgen's saying? Considering we literally just came off of a segment where we're talking about a bunch of Mexican players in Europe.
Truth. It's the truth. It's what Jurgen's been saying for years. Listen, Jurgen may be a lot of things to a lot of people, but he is as honest as they get, and he will tell you his truth. And his truth on this particular subject is the absolute truth. Facts. You want your players playing at the highest of levels. I played for Jurgen Klinsmann. I was in Liga MX. I was on good money. And he was like, you need to get out. And he tried to get me out. I can't tell you how many teams we spoke to. The Osbergs of the world, West Brom Albion, the Grasshoppers, and, the Switzerland. Whatever you can to get out. Get out. He's that guy. He wants the best for you. He thinks the players should be playing in the best possible setups, and that's going to make your national team the best possible national team. Guess what? That's the way it is. Look at the teams around the world. If you have a better pool of players playing in better leagues, better teams, guess what? Your national team's going to be pretty competitive. That's the way it is. He's also right about the Mexican players being comfortable. Too comfortable. I've been in those locker rooms. I've seen these guys get their first check, buy their first car, get married to the girl they went to high school with immediately because they think that's what they're supposed to do. They think this is the way you're supposed to do it. Now we have the life we're supposed to live. Going to Europe for less money? Why would you do that? They don't see the other side. They don't see what's in front of them, the opportunities that are in front of them. So when you're comfortable, when you're making good money, when you're the main attraction in town and nationally and internationally, because you're the main draw in two markets, the Mexican market and then the Mexican-American market in the U.S., and you see the dollars that fly for your signature and how they treat you for playing in the club team, how they treat you for playing in the Mexican national team, why would you ever want to leave?
Yeah.
I understand what he's saying. It's comfort. They're too comfortable.
Gotta leave and hustle like you did, Herc.
No choice.
All right, well, there's more and plenty more football chat coming up on ESPN FC, where you can catch Dan and Kay and the rest of that motley crew. It's on every single day on ESPN Plus.